Welcome inside the MMA War Room with Chris Schroer. I'm Sam Corcoran, recapping an eventful night in the UFC. We had not obviously had a big card, but a major piece of news with the White House card getting released for that's going to be in June. But UFC 326 is a wrap. There's a new champion for the BMF belt. Chris, what are your overall thoughts on the card? I know the title of this is worst BMF fight of all time, so I have a feeling you know where this what your thoughts on this card were.
The card wasn't great. I thought it could be better. The prelims were nothing special. The main card didn't have the fireworks other than the first two fights, which we kind of expected in RoboCop and Drew Dober winning by knockout. A lot of controversy on this card. We'll get into it. Surrounding the Drew Dober MJ fight. The Charles Oliveira, Max Holloway fight. I'm not taking anything away from Charles Oliveira. Don't get me wrong. If this was a regular fight and the BMF title was not on the line, perfect performance. Stellar. He threw an absolute shutout. But I feel like doing this for the BMF belt, which signifies you are the baddest MFer, meaning you're willing to stand there and throw hands with the absolute best of them, and you bear hug Max Holloway for 25 minutes. I just felt like it completely was a disgrace to the actual meaning of the title. And yeah, I mean, I love Charles. I think if he actually stood there and fought, he is one of the BMFs of the UFC. Just not in that way. I just didn't appreciate kind of the BMF title being disgraced like that. I thought it was a disgrace to the title. I mean, there was really nothing done. It was just Max Holloway sitting with Charles Oliveira and back mount for 20 minutes. I mean, no one really wants to see that. I'm going to be completely honest. So if it was a regular fight, like I said, perfect, stellar performance. But in that moment, the magnitude of that moment and significance, I really wasn't a fan of that. And I love Charles. I'm not going to hate Charles, but I think that he knew what he was doing. And hey, a win is a win at the end of the day, but not like that. So that was my TED talk.
It's interesting you say like it's just not a BMF performance, and I do kind of agree with you for what the standard that has been set for the BMF belt is. If the standard is you stand, you throw hands the entire time, then yeah, I agree. But at the same time, like, let's be real. Here's my whole thing with just this Charles Oliveira fight. At the end of the day, Oliveira is a grappler, first and foremost. He's a jiu-jitsu artist, and he's known to have been doing that his entire career. So how is he going to win the fight? By doing that. And I don't blame him for doing that. At the end of the day, like, you get to be the champion by winning, not by what you do in the cage, or how you win, I should say, is the best way to phrase it. So I do think, like, does it kind of kill this belt a little bit? Yes. I'm curious to see what the UFC does with it next and who else would fight Charles Oliveira. We'll talk about matchmaking a little bit. But I'm curious to see who would fight Charles Oliveira for the BMF belt next. Or does it go on hold for another title shot? You don't know at this point. So it's interesting to see what's going on with that. But I think the hate for him is a little undeserved at the end of the day. You can say the fight's boring, but at the end of the day, I also think, you know what BMF screens? It means pinning down Max Holloway for 25 minutes straight. And that definitely says a lot to me.
I agree. Like, I can't hate on Charles. I don't know what I'm hating on right now. Like, the whole situation.
No, Chris, I don't blame you because I think you're just hating on I think you're just hating on how it turned out. Like, and it's not even a Holloway thing. It's just it's a, and I know how much you love the Bronx. It's just it's like it's not the fight you wanted to see. You know.
Exactly. Like, I mean, it's just we never see this side of Charles. He never just shoots actual takedowns. Like, when does he do this? And I don't know. I mean, every BMF fight that we've had, and there's only been a handful because the title's been around since 2018. There has not been wrestling in a single BMF fight. There has literally been no wrestling or grappling in any of those fights. So I don't know. I just felt like Hey, yeah, a win is a win. I'll give it to you, Charles. You're a dog. You're better than Max Holloway, at least for right now. But just it just left a bad taste in my mouth. It really did. I don't know. I didn't particularly like to watch that. It felt like I was literally watching Dricus versus Hamzat again. And I mean that's different.
And I
That's
feel
for
like
a
we've
real
seen that a
title.
little. I feel like we've seen it too often recently. And I
Yeah,
gotta say, like, I know
Islam
it's
did it
been.
too.
I know
Islam did
it's
it to
yeah. I was
JDM.
gonna say
Same thing.
that fight in particular. It's just like there's a lot of grappling, and it's getting to the point where. And I know people are like, "Oh, grappling kills the UFC." Now it's starting to get to the point where, like, okay, this is kind of like my interest is kind of peaking a little bit.
Right.
Because I just don't want to see like grappling fights and like a dominant grappler just pin someone down for 25 minutes straight. I'm not getting my money's worth from that at the end of the day.
Apparently, people left the arena early in the middle of the fight because they were so fed up with it.
I'm not shocked at all. I almost left when I was watching Islam JDM. I almost left the bar early to go home because I was like, this fight is a wraps.
Yeah, it's over.
Unless something like barring a miracle happened, because that almost happened with Kamzat and Dricus.
Yeah,
and then
that is true.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like I feel like BMF, like the unwritten rule is like it's like the stand and bang title. It's like,
and they didn't even stand and bang. It was only like 5 seconds in they did that.
Exactly. It's like you're. I can understand if you're throwing hands and let's say Oliveira gets rocked, and then he's like, "All right, I need to recover, so I'm gonna grapple." I'll take that. But like going in there straight up saying I'm grappling for 20 minutes and you're gonna like it. No, I don't like that.
No.
I didn't like it. I love Charles though. Like I'm gonna keep saying it. I can't take anything away from him. He's a great guy in and out of the octagon. It just left a bad taste in my mouth. But congratulations, D Bronx. So
yeah, no, and it's at the end of the day, like he is a BMF. I know it's not how the fight went down, but he is a BMF.
Exactly. Yeah, I just wanted to see him actually prove being a BMF.
Yes, exactly. I have a question for you.
Sure.
I guess while we're talking about this fight, I say let's just get into matchmaking for this fight. Chris, who would you matchmake for both of these guys at the end of the day? And for Charles Oliveira's next fight, is that going to be for the BMF title?
Because I would say yes. I don't think that they can take it away from him because like he hasn't like he won the title and he is a BMF. We all know what Charles Oliveira is capable of.
Yeah, but my other question is like, is it going to be a Holloway after Gaethje situation where he fights for the lightweight belt and not the BMF belt on the line? Because I think that's a realistic possibility too. And that's the other thing. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be for the BMF belt.
That's hard because if Ilya is still the champ, then no, because we just saw how that fight went down and he got destroyed in the first round. So I feel like he's in kind of a no man's land where he needs to pray for Gaethje or someone else to win, or he's going to just be perennially in the top 5 because I mean there's a line behind Gaethje presumably, but I mean if he wins another fight in a great way, I mean his last 2 wins are great. The Gamrot win, finishing Gamrot, grappling, that was a good win, and then absolutely manhandling Max Holloway for 25 minutes. They could give it to him. I just feel like it's too soon because we just saw it. I don't know if he wasn't gonna fight Ilya Topuria, dude, let him run it back with Arman. I know people hate Arman, but
oh my god,
that was a very controversial decision in that fight at UFC 300. I think they should run it back, if I'm being completely honest. And I think there could potentially be a different result. But yeah, I mean, that would get Arman in the mix. And I know Dana White just, he's licking his chops to screw over Arman every time. And Arman shows up to the arena with handcuffs. Like, dude, help yourself out. How do you
the PR move is
shoot yourself in the foot that much, bro? Like, look, the wrestling match at RAF when he had that whole thing with Giorgio Pugliese, whatever. I forgot how to say his last name. All right, I'll give him that. That was a valid crash out because Puyes was literally poking him in the eyes in wrestling, and he wasn't even like he was trying to poke him in the eye. So I was like, all right, that's a valid crash out. You got it. But it doesn't help your case because you do this too much.
Did you see he's fighting Mokaev? He's wrestling Mokaev for grappling. Yeah,
dude, that would be a great match.
I'm curious to see if Mokaev pokes the bear a little bit more too.
Oh my god, who loses their temper first in that? I really don't know.
That's my question. And then John Silva and Bryce Mitchell number 2. It's just like, oh my god. I have two matchmakings for this, and it's a little tough because lightweight is such a loaded division right now. It's a little hard for these guys to fight up without fighting someone they've already fought before. Specifically Charles Oliveira, who I think the next best fight to fighting up, which is not fighting up, is Benoit Saint Denis. And I think that fight
pretty good.
Could be for a BMF belt because BSD is a BMF and he's really started to prove that he is that. I know it's a little early. Like usually you want like a experienced vet in the octagon for that. But BSD can throw, BSD can grapple, BSD can do anything. I think that's going to be a very entertaining fight, a lot more entertaining than Holloway versus Oliveira, which you have a striker versus a grappler. Now you have kind of a combo of both at the end of the day with BSD and Oliveira. So I think you do that for a BMF title shot. And then I think...
I agree. I love that.
I think that look, yeah. And I think for Max Holloway, I think I have 2 options for him. One would be Paddy Pimblett if they want to keep pushing the Paddy train moving forward. I know he just lost, but it's an option. That fight's going to make a lot of money and keep Holloway there. I would not also be opposed if he wins on the White House card, which we'll talk about shortly. Holloway versus Mauricio Hufi.
That would be a
banger.
Oh my god,
yeah,
bro.
And I have some thoughts on the Hufi matchup against Michael Chandler, but that would be such an unbelievable fight.
That'd be
and I think that's probably what the UFC wants. I don't know how much time Holloway wants to take off. I know he took a lot of time off from the last BMF title defense to this one. You never know, and he just got absolutely dominated for 5 rounds straight. So you never know. But I think those are 2 great matchmakings that I would love to see for both of those guys.
I like it. I have no objections. Holloway versus Rufi would be amazing. Holloway versus Pimblett, that'd be a money fight, and that'd be an entertaining fight build.
And I don't think I would like Holloway versus Paddy just because I don't know
I'd rather
Paddy's
the Rufi
there.
Fight.
Yeah, I think if you're Paddy, I think you probably are going to fight Paddy. Hufi would not be a bad one either. But there's some other people I want to see Paddy Pimblett fight before he gets like a Max Holloway. I know we already got a Justin Gaethje, but I still need to see a little bit more from him.
I agree.
He's not fighting Oliveira for BMF. If that happens, I'm riding.
I hope not. I really hope not.
Oliveira would slaughter him.
Yeah. After what Gaethje did to him, there's 0 chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I guess that kind of recaps the main event, but we can quickly go into these other fights.
Yes, sir.
From UFC 326. Starting at the bottom of the card, performance of the night bonus to Rodolfo Bellato. Chris, very quick knockout in this one. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of stunned because if I'm being completely honest, Luke Fernandez looked great in the first, what was it, like round and a half of the fight, or half a round, excuse me, first half of this first round. I mean, he was just mixing it up so well, pushing Bellato against the cage. He just looked faster than Bellato in everything. The clinch work was great. He was throwing knees, elbows in tight, and Bellato, he was just slower. There was just really nothing he could do. And it wasn't even a matter of Fernandez getting tired. It was just Bellato picking a perfectly executed short left hook. He drops Fernandez, jumps on top, and it was over. It was pretty quick. If you turned away, you would have missed it. But yeah, I mean, good win for Bellato to get back on the winning train. He had a lot of rough fights recently, especially his acting job versus Paul Craig. But yeah, I mean, I'm still not a true believer in Bellato. I think he kind of just found a lucky shot at the right moment, if I'm being completely honest, because Luke Fernandez looked a lot better than he did. But yeah, sometimes that's how it goes. It's MMA, and that's the beauty of it. All it takes is one, and Bellato found that one to drop him and capitalized on it. So yeah, but I'm excited for Luke Fernandez. I'm not worried about him at all. I think this is a good learning experience for him. That was his 7th professional fight.
Yeah, first loss ever too.
Yeah,
so
first loss.
Good learning experience.
Exactly.
I think if you're Bellato, and I kind of agree with everything you said. Just like I was impressed by Fernandez. Bellato landed the right circuit at the right time, but not 100% sold on. I think if you want to give Bellato one guy, and it's another guy who I've talked about in the past, I'm not sold on, but the record speaks for itself, is Billy Elicana. I think that would be. I don't think that's a bad fight. I'm interested to see who would be the favorite because it's two guys I'm not really sold on. That, and it's not like Elicana's fighting a junior Tafa who is just absolutely atrocious. Since he's fighting Rodolfo Bellato, who's a good fighter but needs to prove more. I think Elicana's kind of in that same boat, considering that people really undervalued him when he came to the UFC. So I think that would be a good matchup to make.
I agree. I like the Elicana fight. I'm looking through Tapology right now. We can see what Bellato is up to on this list. Elicana is right above him at 23 in lightweight. So light heavyweight, excuse me. So yeah, I really like that fight. I think that would make sense. Or even someone like I don't think they fought Zach Reese. Zach Reese coming off a loss to Michel Pereira. I think that could be a good fight. But yeah, I like the Elicana fight. I think that's a good prove it moment for two fighters who are a little iffy at times.
But yeah, for sure. Anyways, another fight at light heavyweight: Rafael Tobias versus Diar Nurgazai.
Yeah, it's a mouthful.
I'm now 0 for 2 against when I pick against Nurgazai. Or I picked him, I lost, and I went against him and I lost again. So not looking good. UD for Nurgazai. I mean, I didn't really have much on this fight. Like, it happened. There wasn't really that much entertaining for it, in my opinion, at the end of the day. That's all I really got to say.
Yeah, it was pretty sloppy. If I'm going to be completely honest.
And I'm still not proven by DR.
Yeah, I'm not sold on DR. I think he looked astronomically better than his first 2 UFC fights, but it's kind of easy when you did absolutely nothing and terrible. So the only direction to go for him was up, and he found it. So congrats to DR for that. I think Tobias, he's still pretty raw, and that element showed a lot. Especially on the feet. He was a little bit timid to really mix it up with DR and just get in the pocket. The power was there. He was able to land, but DR, he just looked like the sharper, crisper fighter. He was actually able to pick his shots and, get the fight when it got to the ground, because Tobias shot, as you can see, 8 takedowns. He was 2 for 8. Nurgazai was able to navigate through everything, land a few reversals and try and hold position on the fence, stuff like that. But yeah, it was definitely a different DR Nurgazai than we were used to seeing. And I think Tobias, the question marks definitely proved to be there. Me and Shrikar were talking about it on the prediction video that the striking's limited. The ground game is good. He was never really able to get it going. He had 1 sub attempt, but it really wasn't. I think it was at the end of the round, end of first round, maybe the second round. Well, it was earlier in the fight. But yeah, so I'm not really too confident in either of these guys, but Nurgazai gets in the win column in the UFC, so he's saved from being cut.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think another loss would have cut him. So, anyways, let's move on to the next fight. Sumaderji versus Jesus Aguilar. Shout out Milwaukee Brewers legend, Jesus Aguilar. But this Jesus Aguilar was not a legend, losing by unanimous decision tonight. Or last night, I should say. I guess I can go first. I predicted Sumaderji to win, and I felt like he won this pretty confidently. It's a guy that who I believe he's now 2-0 in the UFC, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, one sec, Sam. Are you able to
Yeah,
fix the stream?
yeah, it seems like chat's not working for some reason.
Yeah.
Um, let me take a
Are
look.
you able
Anyways,
to fix it?
while we try to fix this, let me just talk about Sue real quick. It's a guy that he's been on my radar for a little bit when he came in. He's now 2-0 in the UFC, I believe. Um, and he gets another good win. He's moving up in the flyweight rankings. I mean, obviously, I don't think he's close to a rank shot yet, but he's getting there. He's in the right direction. And I think at the end of the day, taking a guy down like Jesus Aguilar and winning by unanimous decision is a big stepping stone for him. I think that's a good test for him. And now I think he's past that. And I think he's just moving up, steady growth for him, which I think is something that you like to see, especially for a guy who's pretty young right now. I don't know how old he is. Let me look.
Probably not that old.
I keep pronouncing his name. Sumaderji.
Yeah, I don't think he's a spring chicken, but I don't
He's
think
not. He's okay, so he's 30. So he's not like very young, but he's on like the right side of 30, which isn't terrible. The Tibetan Eagle.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a good win. I'm gonna be completely honest. If he didn't make this look easy against Jesus Aguilar, I would have been out on Sumaderji. He had a 10-inch reach advantage, so he kind of went in there and did what he was supposed to. I know I took a stab on Jesus, and he tried to do what I thought he could do and let me move up because I'm on the wrong fight. I forgot.
Yeah,
that
I know. I thought you were trying to fix the chat and everything.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus did exactly what I wanted him to do because I wanted him to get in the pocket, try and make it dirty, throw his overhands. And every time he did it, he just really wasn't able to. It didn't bode well for him. And then Sumaderji was able to literally throw him across the octagon. It actually looked like he was playing with a little kid. It was I felt bad. Like it was these hip tosses and throws. They weren't based on technique at all. It was just I'm bigger than you, so you're going down. That's exactly how it felt. But yeah, I mean, I think that it was a good performance. He did everything he needed to do. Now that's a little win streak for Sumaderji. Let's see, he's on a 3-fight win streak. Mitch Raposo, Kevin Borjas, Jesus Aguilar. So yeah, I mean his name is being called to the rankings soon. I
he's
really
getting
think
up
that
there very shortly.
Yeah, I would say maybe one more fight, 2, if his next opponent isn't great. What's up, Shrikar? Thank you for telling us the chat was broken.
We got it.
Yeah, I see his.
There we go.
Chat.
I think I figured out what was wrong. Yeah, I think I got it.
Yeah. All right, good.
I think Shrikar fixed it before I did, but
Shrikar doing behind the scenes magic.
Behind the scenes action. That's what you get. You get 3 people. You get 1 to fix the chat and 2 on the air right now.
I just got a text from Terrence saying he can't comment either.
Brutal
right
scene.
Now, Terrence.
Anyways, that's your early prelims. We can move on to
but Sumaderji, good guy, good win. Jesus Aguilar will be back. I love Jesus Aguilar. He's amazing.
Yes, for sure. Yes. And it's a good litmus test for him. Anyways, let's move on. Cody Durden, and I don't even want to pronounce this guy's name.
I got you. Nyamjargol Tumendemberel.
Nyamjargol Tumendemberel.
Yes.
Cool. Nyamjargal Tumendemberel gets the unanimous decision win over, and this name's going to be so hard to pronounce. Cody Durden. Hardest name to pronounce.
You mean trash can?
Yeah. My God, this guy is not good. Did I predict him?
Waiting for the Charles rant? Oh, you missed it, bro. Go back to the first 2 minutes of this video.
We started on the main card, y'all.
Yeah, we started on the main event.
We're working our way up, but we started main event. First, like 10 minutes of it, we talked about the main event. So go ahead, check it out. I'm trying.
I can do it again if you want, but it might take up the whole video.
Yes. Did I predict Cody Durden?
Yes, you did.
I did. Dang. My God, I started this card off 1-3. 1-4.
No, it was 1-5. Oh yeah, 1-4.
I picked Dante Johnson.
But then Zhao Long lost?
This is I think I had a losing record on this card. Yeah.
I don't
Anyways,
think so.
I'm.
Because I think you came back.
Oh, I picked Kaio. I forgot I picked Kaio.
Yo, what's up, Tyler? We got you, bro. Some technical difficulties, but
Yes, we're here now.
thanks, Shrikar and Sam for helping. I did
Yeah.
nothing. I did nothing.
Anyways,
I have nothing.
I think I think Tuma Demirel, it's an impressive win. I mean, Durden's not great, but this was a dominant win overall. 10-1 record now. Step in the right direction, and I think Durden, he could get cut soon. I would not be shocked at this point.
Yeah, it's kind of getting rough to watch for Cody Durden. He was a guy that was always fun to watch, and now, he's kind of just coasting on the way out, if I'm being completely honest. He did okay in the first round, like he normally does. He starts off strong and then rapidly fades and declines, and that's the Cody Durden experience. But there were a lot of takedowns shot in this fight, and it was kind of just a battle of position is what something that I really took away from this is, no matter who was on top, they're for the most part it was getting reversed. Of a good amount of mistakes from both sides when they were in top mount or side control, letting their opponent kind of get the position to get out of their hold and then reverse it into an advantageous position. So it was a little frustrating if you were, if you know wrestling, know the techniques, and you just watch them trade back and forth in position. But yeah, I think Tumen Dembrell definitely looked great. Some things to work on. I think he's still pretty raw, but I would say the grappling is pretty solid. Durden held his own, I would say. I mean, he didn't like completely gas, but I think he made some tired mistakes. And if you go back and watch, you'll see what I'm talking about. But say Tumen Dembrell 3 times.
Tumen Dembrell, Tumen Dembrell, Tumen Dembrell. I got the name down now, y'all.
Nyam Jurgol, Tumen Dembrell, Nyam Jurgol, Tumen Dembrell, Nyam Jurgol, Tumen Dembrell. I got you.
These like Mongolian, Kyrgyzstani names like Miktabek Orobai and Nyam Jurgol, Tumen Dembrell.
He's a dog though. I'm excited for him.
Nikolai Veretetikov. There's a lot of these names.
That is true. But for Tumen Dembrell, one thing we really didn't see in this fight, he has crazy power for flyweight. But this was more of just a grappling match. So yeah, that was and I'm getting a phone call from Lucas Fame. Yeah, it was a good win for him though. And I think Cody Durden, they might just keep him around because it's not a gatekeeper test. It's just
it's like a Cody Brundage thing. It's just like
yeah. It's like the Cody test. We're calling it the Cody test.
The Cody test. Yeah, Cody Brundage, Cody Durden.
Yep. And Garbrandt. At least one Cody won last night.
Yes, which about damn time.
Was it deserved? Maybe, depending on how you view nut shots, but
well, we'll get into that in just a second.
Yeah. But solid win for Tumen Dembrell. What'd you think, Sam?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, solid win. He's got crazy power. We didn't get to really see it, so I kind of want to see who he gets next. Because I think it should be a step up, and it'll be. I'm kind of curious to see what that step up is going to be because I want to see more of his power and what he can actually offer to the table.
I agree. I'm honestly thinking that he can fight Jesus Aguilar. I think that would be a good fight.
Ooh, I don't hate that at all.
So it'll be a little more litmus test for Tumen Dembrell, but it could be an opportunity for Aguilar to get back on his feet. And Tumen Dembrell is not overly sized to fight him. Like Sumadirji was just huge, bro. That was not fair. Like that was not a fair size disadvantage. The fact that those guys are in the same weight class is like criminal.
I know.
But yeah, I mean, I think that would be a good fight if I'm being completely honest. And then Cody Durden, whatever flyweight prospect that they have that they don't know too much about, throw him to Cody Durden. If he beats them, you're out of here. If Cody Durden loses, if you beat Cody Durden, it's like, all right, you can do it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So it's
Well,
kind of
let's
funny.
move on to another guy who got a performance bonus, Alberto Montes, taking down Ricky Turcios, um, or Tercios, it's something like
Ooh,
that.
yeah, Tercios.
Tercios. I had it the first time. Nice.
Yeah, you
Um,
got good job, Sam.
Alberto Montes looked fantastic in this fight.
I think he
Um,
looked pretty good.
yeah, just dominated all around. I mean, the round got the anaconda choke round two. He's 12-1 now in a loaded featherweight division. I think this is a guy to keep an eye out for. I'm curious to see, like, I don't know. I can't really say, it's too early to say, oh, this guy's going to be a future champion or this guy's going to be a top 5 guy for a long time. But he's working his way up there, and I'm very curious to see what's next for him because I really like what he's been doing.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was very impressed with Montez. He did a great job of navigating the patented Ricky Tercios aggression in the first round. Tercios really wanted to wrestle and grapple for whatever reason.
Yeah, I
I think
noticed
that was
that
a
too. I was like,
I
what?
think that was a really bad idea. I think that was a really bad idea. But even when they broke apart and they were in space, I think Montez did a much better job in the stand-up game. His strikes were sharp, they were fast, powerful. Tercios didn't do bad on the feet, but I just think Montez had a little bit more zip on his punches. And then early in the second round, Tercios shoots a takedown. He doesn't get fully in on it. That anaconda choke was in faster than you could even know. It was
Mm-hmm.
literally it's insane how fast this guy can cinch up an anaconda or a Darce choke. It's just it's too easy. I mean, I'm pretty sure either like I don't know if it's all of them, but at least 80% of his submission wins come by anaconda or Darce choke. It's actually
Which is
ridiculous.
kind of crazy. And
Yeah.
for Tercios to go in and try to wrestle him, I'm kind of just like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, right?
Um,
Like you better be really sure you're about to get this takedown, bro.
exactly.
Okay, so they're featherweight. Is he not even showing up in?
They're featherweight. Alberto
Yeah,
Montes is featherweight.
he's
Are you
not
trying to
even
look at the
showing up on
Tapology
Tapology.
rankings? Montes.
Interesting.
Oh,
He
I
is,
guess that is actually interesting. He's not even there.
yeah. Let's see.
Um,
Albert. Maybe Sherdog will have him. Sherdog is
something like
another
that.
very good site. Okay, he has 7 submission wins. And let's see. Anaconda, 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 a Bravo choke, Anaconda, Armbar Kimura. All right, not maybe not 80. At
Yeah,
least
it's still
60.
pretty impressive.
Yeah, this guy is legit. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see him fight next. And then we can look at some people that he can face. I mean, I think that you could really do a lot with him. Like I would not be scared to throw this guy into the fire if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
We who did I match him with last time? I don't remember, but I would give him someone like C Rod, Christian Rodriguez, someone on that level. I think he's ready for that test.
I don't hate
Um,
that.
yeah, so somewhere around that
Yeah. Definitely
area
like a
of
step up, but like,
yeah,
yeah, definitely
not
not
like
a rank shot, but
crazy.
definitely a stepped up, you know.
Yeah, like I think C Rod, he wins some, he loses some, but he's been around the block a few times, so I think he would be a good test for Montez, and they're both solid grapplers. I think Montez is better, but it'll really come down to the stand up game and the cardio for me. So I think that
Mhm.
that would be a good opportunity for Montez to fight someone like that. But for Tercios,
Totally.
it's the light at the end of the tunnel is nearing upon us.
I fear.
Um, yeah, I mean, I also think he's like a good litmus test, kind of like what I said about Cody Durden. But it's like, how many times can you have them go out there and lose? It's just, I don't know. I'm gonna be completely honest. I really don't know how he won the Ultimate Fighter. Looking back on it, it doesn't make sense to me.
No, it doesn't
But
either.
he's aggressive, and I guess it's fun to watch aggressive fighting. So, but
Mhm.
yeah, I just don't think that the level he fights at is keeping up with these young guns who are just always evolving, and they're all like I mean, some of them are masters at some point, some aspects of MMA, but a lot of them are just so well rounded. Like you can't even pick out a weakness, like an actual weakness. You keep it on the feet, they can stand and bang with you. You take it to the ground, they're gonna submit you. It's kind of scary how you know, MMA is evolving, and it's like every sport. Every sport evolves over time. But you know what I'm saying. It's a little
No, I'm with you.
long-winded speech.
For sure. Anyways,
But
we can move on. We talk about the Cody test, and Dante Johnson goes through the Cody test. It's a split decision win, which is interesting considering how big of a favorite he was. Chris, I want you to start on this one.
yeah, this
What were
was
your thoughts on Dante Johnson's performance?
this is kind of bad. Like I love
Yeah,
Dante
I'm
Johnson,
with you.
but hey, I always give Cody Brundage his props. I always give it to him. He has the skills. He has the skills to make it close. And he just got knocked out a month ago. And the fact that he came in and took this fight against Dante Johnson, who's a very scary human being, I have to give him props for that. I know Shrikar is rolling his eyes at me somewhere because he hates when I give Cody Brundage props because it's like,
oh my God.
I mean, yeah, you don't get props for being tough. Like that means you're not a very good fighter. But we've seen over time that Cody Brundage, he has flashes of, all right, am I an MMA fighter? I am an MMA fighter, and like you don't know, he keeps you on your toes. But yeah, I just think it was a little bit sloppy. I think he really wanted to control Dante Johnson, and obviously, and you could see that through the 7 attempted takedowns. He landed 2 of them. Dante Johnson obviously able to get out and reverse a few of those for some control time. But I really think that Cody had a good game plan. If I'm being honest with you, I do think Dante Johnson edged it out. Just off, sheer volume of strikes and a little bit like in the power department. But I do think I do think a split is worthy. Like, I don't think it's blasphemous to say this would be a split decision. I mean, it was pretty close. There was in the back of my mind when watching this, we were at a bar. And I turned to one of my friends and I'm like, oh my God, Dante Johnson might lose a minus 900. That would be absolutely
crazy.
insane. Yeah. But I just think this is a learning experience for Johnson, and Cody's a grizzled vet and he's crafty. So it's, we kind of expect this fight out of him, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, a lot of people expected him to get absolutely flatlined in the first round. Partially, I did too, but I knew in the back of my head that Cody can make it close, and that's exactly what he did. But it's some growing pains for Dante Johnson. I think that now he has 8 professional fights under his belt. He's fought Cedric Dumas and now Cody Brundage in the UFC. So I think it's time to start getting a little bit better competition under your belt. But yeah, I mean, hey, there's going to be growing pains. He's still raw. You can't really expect him to come out the gate firing that fast. But him as a minus 900, I also think that was because it was short notice for both of them.
Brundage.
Also, Cody just getting knocked out a month ago. That leaves a bad taste in bookmakers or odds makers' mouth. So yeah. But I think that Dante deserved to win. What did you think Dante won, Sam, or did you think that
I think he won? I think he definitely won this fight. I would also score 29-28 in favor of Dante Johnson. I want to talk about Brundage a little bit. I think we covered a lot of what about Dante Johnson is. Brundage is 11-9-1, and yet somehow all his fights, I feel like it's just been like kind of close for the most part recently.
I know,
besides
bro.
like Cameron,
he's not bad.
Like, he's not bad. I mean, there's a reason he was on the UFC 300 main card. Like, come on now. Nah, I'm just playing. Anyways, like 2 no contests, 1 TK. Like, he wins. He gets a knockout last year ago, and then split decision to McConaughey, which a lot of people thought he should have won that fight.
I think he should have won. You actually had McConaughey in that fight, Sam.
I had McConaughey in that fight, yes. And then Cam Rouston, and now Dante Johnson. And he gets split decision to Dante Johnson. He's not bad. Like, it's a good, I guess it's like a good litmus. Excuse me. Whoa. Good litmus test for some of these fighters that like coming in like Dante Johnson. So I don't hate it. I mean, I think, and I think it's not like you probably don't cut him because it's like he's being a gatekeeper for some of these up and coming fighters. It just sucks when he's being like fed to the wolves, you know. Um,
I
so
agree.
maybe he doesn't get fed to a wolf the next time. We'll see what happens, or maybe he gets fed to a quote unquote wolf, and he just he obliterates that wolf, you know. So,
Yeah, I don't even
anyways,
know who I want Cody Brundage to fight. I just him fighting anyone is just okay. Like you got
yeah.
it, bro. Whoever you want,
Anyways,
pick and
yeah.
choose.
Well, let's talk
But
about the other Cody.
well, wait, who would you see Dante Johnson fighting? That's a
Ooh,
good
that's a good
question.
question.
Um, because I'm thinking someone along. I don't want to give him someone too high because if you just struggle kind of with Cody Brundage, how's he gonna do with these other guys? Um, ooh,
I actually got one, and you're going to laugh at me for this.
imagine
Um,
we have the same one.
what
Imagine we have the same one.
is it, Junior Tafa?
No, but I'm actually not mad at that. That's like a little disrespectful,
If they're
but
not going to cut Junior Tafa, feed
yeah,
him.
I guess just bump up Dante
Yeah.
Johnson's stock. I was gonna say Andre Petrosky.
Oh, I don't hate that either. Actually, I think that's actually a good one.
Yeah, so Todd.
Oh wait,
I
sorry,
would love it.
Tafa's light heavyweight. I'm sorry, I got it confused. It would have to be at 185. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
yeah,
well,
sorry,
I
I
was thinking
misread
like
that.
Petrosky. So
Yeah, I think Petrosky would be good. Um, I wouldn't hate like a Michel Pereira too. I know he just
ooh,
won, but like
that
I
might be a
don't.
little much for him.
I guess. What about like a Marc Andre Barrio? I think that could work too.
I could get with that. That's I
Yeah,
feel like that's in the same range as Petrosky.
yeah.
Yeah,
Here's one
but
for that. No, I'm
what?
not gonna say it.
No,
No, I'm not gonna
say
say it.
it, say it, say it.
No, I was gonna say Ateba Gautier for Cody Brundage, but I feel like that's too disrespectful to Ateba Gautier.
Oh,
Just to like
dude,
finally finish him off.
you know he would actually kill him, bro. That'd be so bad.
Ateba Gautier versus Junior Tafa. Please let that happen. Um. Anyways, let's move
Poor
on to the
Junior,
last
poor
Cody.
Alpha family.
Oh my god.
Their number
Anyways,
one op is Sam Corcoran.
they are. They're gonna come find me one day. I swear. It's not looking good.
Dude, if they did, I would be so scared, bro.
Oh my god. Um, this
Ugh.
one had a lot of controversy in it.
Yeah.
Cody Garbrandt versus Zhao Long. Um, look, I'm glad Garbrandt won this fight. The nut shots were ridiculous. Like at the end of the day, I'm
Sorry, keep
what?
going. I'm sorry. It was too funny.
I mean, he had so many nut shots at the end of the day, and like that's why he lost the fight because look, they were all 28-27. It probably was going to be 29-28 Zhao Long until the nut shots happened, and that's why he loses the fight. Cody, I mean, he won
So
this
funny.
fight, and I'm glad he did because realistically, I'm a little surprised they didn't call this fight a no contest, and Cody kept on fighting after yakking in the octagon and just being so hurt. I'm glad he gets like some sort of win off of this, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. That was ridiculous. And then he gets up screaming and runs across the cage at Zhao Long, doing a flying knee, screaming like a rabid animal. That was so funny. And then Zhao Long screaming too. He's like, yeah, like whatever.
Oh my god.
The whole fight, it felt like a fever dream. Like there's no way that fight was real. It's
Yeah,
like what am I watching, dude?
that was
I
crazy.
don't know who the referee was. I wasn't really paying attention to that.
I think it was Herb.
Okay, I was gonna say honestly, I should have been paying attention to that because Herb made many guest appearances.
Mm.
Um,
Don't quote me on
question
that,
for
but I believe
Chris:
it was Herb.
do you want to go to the NEC Championship on Tuesday at LIU with me and Zach?
Dude, that
Ooh,
sounds so fun.
pins up. Yes, I do. I would love to go. Thank you, Luke Payne, for inviting me.
The
Pins
NEC is the
up.
best conference tournament.
I can't wait to be in the Shark Tank.
That's going to be
That would be
awesome.
electric.
I think the last time
Yeah.
LIU made the NCAA tournament, they were known as LIU Brooklyn.
Yes, they were. And now they're just LIU.
Just LIU.
LIU. Yeah, that would be awesome. I can't wait to be in part of the Shark Tank. But yeah, Cody Brundage. I hope he's doing okay today because, dude,
Yeah.
I don't know
He
how.
lost a few children, I think. I fear.
Yeah, I do too. Like that was pretty brutal. I'm gonna be completely
Yeah.
honest.
Um,
Um,
anyways, next
but
up for him,
yeah.
I think this could be interesting. Um, I mean, he has the reputation of a former champion, so it's which is always so weird to say with Cody Brundage nowadays. Um, I think a good fight for him would be Rob Font, who we just saw fight Raul Rosas. I think that would be a good test for Cody Brundage and Cody Garbrandt. Excuse me.
Hmm.
There's too many Codys on this card, but
Yeah, I
yeah, I
know.
think that would be a good one.
Cody Garbrandt and Rob Font. Do I like that? I don't know. I don't even know if Cody Garbrandt's ready for that. Like again.
Former champion. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's more like a name
Um,
recognition thing. He could also
it could
fight like
be.
a. He could also fight like a Malcolm Wellmaker,
Dude,
like a hype
he would,
prospect who just lost.
yeah, he would die. I think Cody Garbrandt would die.
I think he would too, but I also think it's like a good test for both of them.
I could get
Or maybe
behind
they
that.
re-sign Patchy Mix and put him back in the UFC. No, I'm just kidding.
If that happens, dude, life might not be real.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Maybe they could do someone like what about like a Jakob Wicklash or
I don't hate that.
I mean, I think this is too high for him, but like if you just want to do like battle of the unks, you could just do Cheeto versus Garbrandt. But I still think Cheeto is too high up for him, even though he's losing every fight he has. I don't know. I feel like Garbrandt, if he's gonna actually make a run, he's gonna need to be eased into it. So yeah, but he's also kind of getting older, so the clock is ticking. So I don't know how the UFC wants to play it. But yeah, thank God Herbine actually took points for all these nut shots because sometimes we see this happen in fights and it happens twice and there's not a single point taken. And it's just like, dude, come on. I feel bad for this guy. How is there?
Oh, yeah.
That should be like, I get you can go a warning. And he actually did it 3 times because the first was a warning. Then the second one was a point, and then the third one was another point. And it was like, all right, dude, how many times are we gonna do this? But yeah, Herbine actually didn't have a great night. I'm gonna be completely honest.
Night. Also,
he had a few questionable things go on in that octagon, but shout out Herbine. What is he
Chris,
doing?
I also
Like
feel very off topic, but it's related to one of our comments from our good friend Luke Fain. I should make you aware that LIU has already clinched a bid to the NCAA tournament. So it's more just to be in the Shark Tank than see them clinch the bid.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, but yeah.
I'm literally
You could also see Mercyhurst win the NEC.
Oh, dude, I love Mercyhurst.
If only Lemoyne was there.
Oh my God. If Thane a couple weeks ago, right? Maybe like a month and a half ago, he texted me saying, "Yo, do you want to go to Lemoyne versus LIU?" It was at LIU. And I couldn't because we were recording a podcast.
Hottest ticket in town, dude.
I know. It was like $12.
You missed it.
Dude, I know that.
No, I with that rule is so stupid, but as you guys are Long Islanders, you have to see your team be in the NCAA tournament. Come on now.
Oh yeah. Yo, Fane, that's a fire profile picture, bro. That's just like a bunch of rocks. I'm rocking with it. No pun intended. Yes, Terrence, Cheeto is awful. He is not very good anymore, sadly.
Yes.
But
sadly.
I think that Garbrandt versus Cheeto, that would be a fun fight if I'm being completely honest. I don't see any takedowns happening that, and someone might bark.
I feel like Cheeto would win, but yeah. Anyways.
I have no idea what it even is, but thanks. You're welcome. You're welcome, Fane.
You're welcome, Fane. Anyways, let's move to the main card. Where we had a banger of a fight. I thought the main card in general was really good. Besides,
I thought it was pretty solid. Yeah.
Yeah. But RoboCop, a round 1 knockout over Bruno Ferreira, just one punch and he was done, man.
That was sad.
Yeah, it was a little sad. But RoboCop is on a different. He is one of the hottest fighters in the UFC right now. I feel like. I know he had a few losses earlier, but I think you look at where he is now, and I just love what he's doing in the UFC right now. I mean, getting wins. I'm pulling up Tapology real quick. Trying to, if my internet will load. Yeah, 3 straight wins for him after losing to Cannonier, against Jack Hermanson, Roman Kopylov, Bruno Fajeda, knockout, unanimous decision, and knockout. Like, it's all looking really good at this point for him. I think next up for him, I would go. Ooh, I think RDR might be next up for him.
Wow.
Like, RDR's lost 2 fights. RoboCop's won 3 in a row. Keep it in the rankings. And I think RDR would probably win that fight. But RoboCop's a dog, and I would love to see him just go through that and see what he could do.
I actually really like that fight. I'm gonna be so serious. I really like that. Yes.
Nice.
Especially with RDR coming off a loss now to Kaio. He's gonna be. I think he probably already moved. If he didn't move, he's 8. He's number 8 right now. So actually, the middleweight rankings are going to change because Robert Whittaker is sitting at 9, so he's going to drop out because he's going to light heavyweight. So that means RoboCop would probably move up to 12 or 11. So yeah, an 8 versus an 11 really is not bad. Also, I think that's a great stylistic matchup, and those are 2 guys that are just massive. Like RoboCop is chiseled out of stone, and RDR is just a huge middleweight. He's 6'4". Also, with RDR struggling recently, I think this is a good. I mean, this is a big proof fight for him, and it's finally a chance for RoboCop to get into the top 10. Like, I feel like he's been perennially out of the top 10, but now this is his chance to, cement himself. And I think he could honestly stay there for a little while. If he keeps fighting like this, it's just he's been super calculated. He's not a brawler anymore. It's calculated chaos, as I like to call it. And Fajeda, he was just stalking him like he was trying to put his lights out. And that's not how you have to play the game with a guy like RoboCop. Like, when he knocked him out last time, it was because RoboCop was stalking Fajeda, and he moved forward and allowed it. Like, he was very vulnerable when he was moving forward. His hands were down looking for that big kill shot, and Fajeda just boom, one tapped him on the chin. And I feel like it kind of was the same thing with except reverse with RoboCop doing it to Fajeda. Fajeda was just on the prowl, and there was really no actual defense going on. It was like a lion stalking his prey, and he paid for it. He really did. He got literally 4 punches in this entire fight, and one of them,
which is crazy.
Yeah, one of them knocked out Bruno Fajeda. Look how red his head is on one punch.
Let me see.
Look how red he is. He took one.
It's crazy.
Oh, that must have hurt. Maybe the ESPN website knows how much it hurt on like a scale.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, he went out cold. So
yeah,
I think that's what you do next with RoboCop is give him an RDR test. I think I like that a lot. Next fight, though, a lot of controversy on this one. I'm a little upset myself. With just the line shift and everything. I picked Michael Johnson to win, then the line shifts and Drew Dober gets us one and gets a performance bonus from it. And at the end of the day, I don't really think it's something with Drew Dober, but it's interesting how the line shifted like that. And I'm like, raises an eyebrow for me, to say the least.
That was very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't want to spread rumors, but I'm going to read a tweet that I saw on Twitter I saw it posted, but I saw it on Twitter at first. I think it has like 1 million something views now on Twitter. This was at 3:40 p.m. yesterday during all the line movement. Someone tweeted Michael Johnson has been paid to lose by round 2 TKO, which happened today. And the gang called Gangster Disciples coming out of St. Louis, Missouri, are holding his nephew hostage. And that was posted 6 hours before the fight. And he lost by round 2 TKO.
Jeez, man.
Look, I'm not saying that that's true, but wow, is that coincidental?
Yeah.
End line movement like that? That means people had to know something was up. I don't think this tweet single-handedly changed the line. It might have, though. It really might have.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy
Yeah.
that a tweet could actually single-handedly change a line. But yeah, I mean, Johnson looked great in the first round. He was in and out of the pocket, moving fast. He did get caught in some exchanges where I was a little nervous because Dober has crazy power and you really don't want to start trading with him. But I think Johnson was landing the better shots in the first round. And in my opinion, he won the first round. Second round just got really sloppy. It honestly kind of felt rigged.
Yeah.
It kind of felt rigged. Yeah, it just got sloppy. And I mean, Dober's a good enough fighter where like he that could happen on his own merit, like not that Michael Johnson let it happen. But it was like a different fighter from the first round and second round for Michael Johnson. He was just very careless. He was entering the pocket with reckless abandonment, and he paid the price for it. He got shut. His lights got shut off, man. Like that was crazy. Yeah. That felt like 3 years ago, the Diego Fajeda knockout. That was very reminiscent of this one, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, no, good. I mean, good for Drew Dober, because Drew Dober, I would say he definitely needed this one. Michael Johnson on a 3-fight win streak and had a pretty big win his last time out. So yeah, but a lot of controversy. I'm sure people are looking into it. I'm not going to say anything else because I don't want to get in trouble. But
yeah,
just very interesting to take note of. What do you think about it, Sam?
I mean, it's interesting to take notes for sure. And I mean, no discredit to Drew Dober. I think he had a good fight. Did Johnson try to lose that fight though? That's where my suspicions comes in. But I think you said it all. Like, it's a crazy situation, definitely suspicious. At the end of the day, like, it's out of our control, and Drew Dober. I think that's the best way I could put it.
Yeah, I would say that. I'm not even really sure where these guys go from here.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I'm just trying to think. Like, I don't know who they would fight. Like, it's not like it's someone you would probably want them to fight someone around their caliber. I would say, like, where their caliber they're at right now, not like up or down necessarily.
Yeah, I don't really want to feed these guys to the wolves. But I mean, if you really had to, have Drew Dober fight Quillen Salkeld.
Oh God, I actually don't hate that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be a really good war. Or, they could have Alexander Hernandez fight Drew Dober, kind of in replacement of the Hernandez MJ fight that was supposed to happen, which also had suspicious betting activity. The past 2 fights that MJ was
Michael
involved
Johnson.
In, yes, the past 2 fights have been flagged. Not good.
That's
except
not good
for the other one, it was reverse. He became more and more the favorite. I'm pretty sure because Hernandez was hurt, but yeah, I don't know. Mm-hmm. I honestly like Dober and Salkeld. I feel like Salkeld they're gonna boost up a little higher though. But if they just wanted to make a fun war, do that. If you don't, I would say do Hernandez versus Drew Dober, and I don't think they've fought each other.
So, no, I don't think they have either.
Yeah. Oh no, they have. Drew Dober has knocked out Alexander Hernandez in 2020. So.
Oh well, okay. So that was a while ago, but still.
Yeah, you could run that back. But yeah.
Anyways, let's move on. This next fight, because this was pure dominance by Raul Rosas. 16 takedowns for the Mexican and a unanimous decision win.
I didn't even realize he had 16.
Yeah, he had a lot. Like, he just dominated. And unfortunately, we didn't get to fully see it because Paramount. But it is what it is.
I was at the bar. There was no problem at the bar.
Yeah. Look, Raul Rosas has been hyped up for a very long time. And now he's in the rankings after being Rob Font. Now, I'm curious to see what they do. I'm gonna look at the UFC rankings right now because I'm curious to see what they do with him. Because are they gonna give him like the Mauricio Rufy treatment, where like they're just gonna give him hot top opponent after top opponent after top opponent, which I feel like they could do. Um, or maybe someone a little lower. I think a guy that you could look at right now for Raul Rosas would be like a Mario Bautista. Um, and I
Mario Batista.
believe is he
No,
fighting soon?
I don't know. I was honestly, I
Oh,
know
he
I
just
just
won. I'm sorry. Sorry. No. I for some reason I thought he lost the Oliveira fight. So let's go.
okay. Give him
I think
Cheeto Vera.
Oliveira, Cheeto. I don't. I feel like they're gonna do someone a little lower for Cheeto at this point, and I don't hate it, but like I feel like they would just go lower with that.
I guess. I just don't know who he should fight. Anyone else? I don't know who else he should fight in the rankings. Um, because what, he'll be 13. Vera's sitting at 10. Um, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of slim pickings. If I'm being completely honest. Unless he fights like a Kyler Phillips and he fights down, but I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I
Cheeto's
don't
just
see him
kind of the
fighting
throw
down.
around weight right now.
I guess. Yeah, or maybe. Well, that's why I suggested Mario Bautista because why not just do something with two guys that have been doing really well, kind of like what they're doing with Hoofy, just like getting guys that are doing really well and putting them together. And I know they didn't do that with Michael Chandler for Hoofy, but still,
I agree. I like it.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
that
it'll
would
be
work.
I don't know. Interessante to say the least.
Yeah.
But good win for Rosas. Rob Font is terrible on the ground. That was awful.
Yes,
How do you get taken down 16 times? I
dude.
mean,
I don't know.
I guess he got up 16 times, so good for him.
Yeah, David Martinez kind of killed the man. I fear.
He might have. He
Um,
might have broke his
yeah,
confidence.
exactly.
But
Anyway,
yeah.
speaking of a man that's been getting killed, I fear recently, RDR. What is going on with RDR, man?
I'm not gonna
Um,
lie. 30-27 unanimous was low-key crazy. I thought
it
RDR
was a
won
low
the
key.
I think he
I
potentially won the second round.
I think I think Kyle won all three rounds, but at the same time, I thought 30-27 was a little nuts. This fight I was like kind of torn on picking, and I went with Kyle, and I mean, I guess I was right.
Yes, sir.
Um, yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like RDR really got a boost from just one hit against Bo Nickel, and that was it. And like, let's be real, like he gets the hit
Right.
against Bo Nickel, split decision versus Robert Whitaker. Remember how close that fight was. That was a really good fight.
Yeah.
And then loses to, God, who did he lose to again?
Who? RDR? Brendan Allen.
Yeah, Brendan Allen. Oh God, yeah, that was bad. Because it was gonna be fluffy. I remember.
Yep.
And then loses to Kyle like this. Just not looking good for him, man. And I know he had a lot of strikes, like 199 strikes thrown, 111 connected, 55 significant. That does say a lot. But Kyle just looked better this entire fight. At the end of the day, only 2 for 8 for takedowns for RDR. Kyle gets the one he lands. I think when it comes to matchmaking for these guys, for RDR, or we'll do Kyle. I think you could do Kyle. Oh, I want to say Kyle. I think Kyle and Drickus makes the most sense right now. We haven't seen Drickus fight since he got manhandled by
Got mauled.
by Hamzat Chimaev. If we're going to do Chimaev and Imavov for the title, I think Drickus is the next best guy for Kyle if he wants to still fight for the title. Because I do think he is absolutely still in contention, even though he lost to Imavov pretty handily. And I think for RDR, I would give him the loser of Piper and Adesanya. I think that's probably. Oh, wait, no, sorry. I already said Robocop. What was I talking about? I wanted that Robocop matchup.
Yeah.
But that's what I would do for that.
RoboCopper's RDR is good. I think Kyle could fight Dricus. Because who else is sitting at the top of middleweight? No one too crazy.
A lot of people that have lost towards the top of middleweight. That's
well,
the thing.
they might do Brendan Allen versus Dricus because
I feel like you would do
Strickland,
Brendan Allen versus Sean Strickland, maybe.
you could do that. I mean, if Strickland doesn't want to wait to fight, because Imavov should get the next shot, and only God knows when Hamzat's gonna fight next. You could do Strickland versus Kaio.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. I don't know if it's actually plausible or like the right thing to do, but it's definitely a possibility. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, Kaio, great bounce back from the loss against Imavov. All the fighting nerds, when they lost, came back and won their next fight. So he fulfilled the prophecy.
Yes.
But yeah, so I could be a Sean Strickland fight. Not gonna lie. But we'll see. I think they have some options with Kyle. He's very flexible. So
Yes.
good performance though. He definitely looked great. He just wore down RDR. Like it was RDR, like he was in the fight. It's not like he completely gassed and faded away, but it just looked as if Kaio had control of the fight in the moments where it mattered most, if that makes any sense. But
No, that makes sense.
yeah, so I was happy to see that from Kaio. And RDR, man, at least you didn't quit on the stool. Good job. I'll give you that.
But anyways, I mean, good card. I mean, solid card overall. We talked about the main event at the beginning of the video if you want to go back and watch. But Chris, I think we can now talk about the other big news that happened yesterday with the White House card getting announced.
We can. I'm pulling it up right now.
Yeah. I have to step out for like 2 minutes. If you want to talk about it while I step out real quick, why don't you do that?
Sure. Wait, just I'm sharing my screen. No, there. Okay. We're okay. Oh wait, can I share my own tabs?
Here, I can pull up the screen. I'll wait for you.
I was gonna say, you guys are gonna watch me try and do this. Okay.
Yeah. Chris doesn't have the admin access unlike I do.
I do not.
But there's the card.
With the
I'll be back in 2 minutes to discuss this more.
Yeah, this actually wasn't a complete surprise to the War Room. We had a pretty good idea that Topuria Gaethje was going to be on the card as the main event. Gon Pereira. There were rumblings, a lot of different perspectives about potentially John Jones coming back. Other things, other rumors surfacing, and last night the MMA world kind of blew up because now everything came out. The total plans, what fell through, what didn't fall through. I don't know if you guys saw, I believe it was the ceremonial weigh-ins on Friday, but Hunter Campbell and Dana, I'm assuming Sean Shelby and whoever else, Mick Maynard if he was there, they were scrambling. It looked like a bad scene at the weigh-ins. And the report came out that a fight fell through, and Dana said, yeah, a fight fell through, blah, blah, blah. Hunter is pissed. And I mean, I'm sure they were, because if I worked that hard on massive fights for one of, if not the biggest event the UFC has ever put on, that's kind of brutal. But the fight that they were talking about that fell through was going to be Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria. That is a crazy fight to fall through. That is absolutely brutal. If I'm being completely honest. That's a dream fight that's been talked about for about the past almost year. Everyone wants to see it. That's like almost the Super Bowl for MMA. You have two insanely talented guys on top of the world, and you pit them against each other. I don't know if I need to check. I don't know if it was going to be for the welterweight title or the lightweight title, but if it was the lightweight title, Islam would come back and try and be a 2-division champ. If it was for the welterweight title, that means that there would actually be 2 fights on the White House card with 2 fighters going to try and achieve triple champ status. That has never been done before. Alex Pereira, if he beats Cyril Gane, even it's interim, so I don't know if we can count it as a full undisputed champion. In my book, I'll count it. I'll still count it. But yeah, he would be the first quote unquote 3 division champ, which has never been done before. That's an insanely impressive feat. But yeah, I really like the main event. I really like the co-main event. I think that is 2 great title fights to captivate the audience. They're both going to bring absolute chaos. And then in the featured prelim, or not featured prelim, the featured bout, you're going to have Sean O'Malley versus Ayman Zahabi. That one was very out of left field for me. Very unexpected.
Can I chime in on the first 2 fights? Now I heard everything
you got it.
said. First of all, Ilya Islam was going to be at welterweight.
Okay, so Ilya was in the first.
That would have been triple champ for Topuria, which would have been crazy. I have a flaming hot take about the main event. I think for this card specifically, Topuria Gaethje is a much better fight than Topuria Islam, because I think the UFC is missing an opportunity with your co-main and main without featuring an American on that. I feel like if you have a fight like Ilya Islam, you have to do that in Las Vegas, not at the White House, where this is supposed to be a patriotic event, you know.
I can agree with that.
You have to get and I think you have to get an American. Like, look at the rest of the card. Like, you have Michael Chandler, you have Sean O'Malley, you have Justin Gaethje, you have Bo Nickel. Those guys just scream USA, and I think you need to get those guys on the card and make sure. I mean, and I understand like you want the super fights too. But at the end of the day, I think Gaethje Topuria makes more sense for the White House card than Topuria Islam would. And I think that's something you would do in Las Vegas. It's a flaming hot take, but I think that makes more sense. So I don't know. I do think now, on the note of O'Malley Zahabi, this one did throw me off a little bit. I'm a little surprised it's not Corey Sandhagen. That's the one I would really want. I really wanted to see. But I don't hate Zahabi. I don't hate it. It's just it's a little weird. It's not like a really like a big name fighting on that card, but it's an opportunity for. I think it's really just another opportunity for Sean O'Malley to just go out there and do what he does best, against a legitimate competition too. But obviously, I think if you're making this fight, if you're the UFC, you want to see O'Malley win it. So. And I think he was a lock to be on this card. I'm glad he is. I think Michael Chandler was a lock to be on this card. I'm glad he is. And I'm glad he's taking on somebody who's like a respectable opponent. Not that I think Chandler is deserving of it, but I think if you wanted to get Michael Chandler on this card, you had to give him someone with like name recognition, someone who is top tier. And unfortunately, someone that is probably going to kill Michael Chandler. But I think him being on this card is deserving, and it makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. For the O'Malley Zahabi fight, yeah, I think it was just a let's get O'Malley on the card in any way possible move. I really wish it was Corey Sandhagen, like you said, and Corey's been calling for it, and seems like Sean O'Malley is ducking because every time they ask him, he's very dismissive about mentioning Corey Sandhagen's name and stuff like that. But I mean, I think Zahabi's a good opponent. He's been surging as of late. I think Sean O'Malley is better than Zahabi, and he should win it pretty easily. But hey, you never know. Zahabi could start grappling. I mean, Sean has great grapple defense and anti-grappling, but yeah, I mean, that will just be an interesting matchup. I'm not quite sure why that's the matchup. They could have just done Umar versus Zahabi for Winnipeg main event and Corey versus Sean at the White House. I agree, Shrikar. I don't know why this was the choice.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what they have in line for Corey Sandhagen. So I feel like that's kind of telling that they're saving him for something. Whatever it is, I hope it's good. I don't think it's better than a Sean O'Malley fight at the White House, if I'm being completely honest.
No, there's nothing that's going to be better than that, I fear.
Yeah. But, you know, Sugar Show is definitely an audience captivator. He knows how to put on a show, make it fun. So getting him on the card is awesome. Roofy versus Chandler, going to be fireworks. I mean, Michael Chandler never backs down. Mauricio Rufy, one of the best strikers that we've ever seen in the UFC.
Yeah.
That's going to be an absolute war. God bless Michael Chandler for taking that fight. That's going to be brutal. But hey, maybe he pulls out something crazy. If he starts wrestling, we've seen Rufy's takedown defense is a little susceptible. So he might have a path to victory there, but I have a feeling it's going to stay on the feet and it's going to be all fun. Bo Nickel versus Kyle Daukaus. I really wish that it was Bo Nickel versus Colby Covington. I'm surprised Colby Covington is not on this
it's
card.
Because Colby Covington's ducking him. That's what it is.
Yeah, I would.
Classic Colby Covington,
I think
man.
so. I mean, Colby loves President Trump and he talks about him constantly. I don't know why he wouldn't be on the White House card. I feel like that's literally screams Colby Covington's name. But that's beside the point. I like that Bo Nickel's on it. He's one of the best collegiate wrestlers of all time. He's doing real American freestyle wrestling. So, I think that's definitely good. And you have an American opponent in Kyle Daukaus, who is actually, I don't know if he's still a cop. But regardless, I think that's a good matchup. It'll be a good, it'll be a good trampoline for both guys. And this is a huge card for them to have their name on. I honestly think this is a bigger opportunity for Kyle Daukaus than it is for Bo Nickel, because I feel like a lot of people know Bo Nickel, but they might not know Kyle Daukaus. And for him to be on a huge stage with a guy like Bo Nickel, that's a huge opportunity for him. So honestly, happy that he's getting an opportunity. Do wish it was Colby Covington though. Sorry, no offense to you, Kyle Daukaus. No offense to you.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Yeah.
And I think this last fight too, Diego Lopez versus Steve Garcia. It's not what I saw coming, but I'm so excited for it. And Steve Garcia has been rolling, man. Diego Lopez was coming off a championship. I also like how they kind of did a little, and I don't know if this was intentional or not, but look, a USA versus Canada and a USA versus Mexico, little rivalry there. If only they had a British fighter on it. If only it was like Tom Aspinall versus like an American, or like Leon Edwards versus American, something like that. I think that would have been fun. But it is what it is.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah. That would be funny.
Yeah, but no. Overall, could this card be better? I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes. Am I happy with it? I think we'll be happy when the time comes around. It's just very easy to nitpick, and also when you hear the things that come out after of, oh, we wanted to make this fight and this didn't work. I just saw something that apparently they were trying to get Gable Stevenson to make his debut on this card, and Gable Stevenson didn't even know.
Oh my god!
So
is he signed to the UFC?
No, he is not yet. But that was going to be his introduction to the UFC, was a debut on the White House card.
That would have been crazy.
Now, would it have replaced one of these fights? I don't think so. I think they would have just made it 7 or 8 fights. If I'm being completely honest.
Well, they said they might make a 7th fight, so I'm curious to see what, if that does happen, what it would be.
Could be Gable. I'm just waiting for him to come to the UFC. He's gonna revive the heavyweight division. He's so good. I would love to see Gable Stevenson versus Josh Hokett off rip.
Oh, off rip. My God. That would be an insane opener.
Yeah.
My God.
Too bad Hokett's fighting Curtis Blades and talking massive amounts of crap online. But he's like one of the craziest people to ever walk on this earth. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. I do think we're going to see another fight, though. I don't feel like 6 is enough. If they can squeeze one more in, I think they will. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. We'll see. And we'll see if the card order gets shuffled. Because do you really want to make Diego Lopez versus Garcia the opening fight? Like, I might have that. I mean,
out of all those fights, I wouldn't be shocked if it is. I actually like the way they stacked it. I'm not going to lie. Like, I don't think, here's the thing. When I look at this card.
It is true.
I think for casual fans, Steve Garcia is not a household name.
No, not
Diego
at all.
Lopez in comparison to a Bo Nickel or a Michael Chandler, I hate to say it, not as big as a household name in comparison to those guys for
I
American
agree.
fans. And again, center this around American fans too. Like they're putting, they're putting them together. Like I like the way they stack this card at the end of the day. It works out. Something no one is talking about is if one of these two fights fall through, it's cooked. I would not. Yeah, that's another issue for the UFC. I think especially like the championship fights too. I mean, I feel confident. Hopefully, I mean, luckily there's 6 fights, so they can make some shuffles around because there's going to be people that aren't fighting that want to fight. So I think they can make some realistic shuffles and everything. Because let's say if someone has an event the week before or the week after, and they find out, oh, they need to fight at the White House, they're going to switch off that card immediately and get on the White House card. So,
I agree.
Yeah, but any other thoughts on this White House card before we wrap up shop, Chris?
No, it's kind of good. I'm kind of mad because this isn't like TMI or whatever, but I was when I was at the bar, I was literally glued to the TV waiting for the card to be announced. And of course, the second I go to the bathroom, I come back, everyone's like, "Yo, did you see the White House card?" I'm like, "You gotta be kidding me, bro. No way I missed that, bro." And then they showed me. I'm like, all right. I mean, the championship fights, yeah, I could have told you that last week. But Rufy Chandler, we've talked about Rufy Chandler versus Chandler on this podcast many times as like a realistic possibility for Rufy. And this was before the BSD fight and everything like that. The Fazeev fight. Interesting that they're making it happen now, but I like it. The O'Malley Zahabi one out of left field. Like I'll stand by that. That was completely out of left field.
Out of left field a little bit.
Nickel versus Dawkins wasn't completely I was expecting one half of that equation, but not mad at the entire package. And then Lopez Garcia, didn't see that coming at all. Absolutely awesome fight. I think that's going to be such a war. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. Streetcore is right though. They really need to pray that some of these fights don't fall through.
Yes.
If they do, it is scary hours. Scary hours for the UFC.
Not to mention, if this is an outdoor fight, I'm curious to see what it's going to be like too.
Interesting. Yeah.
Especially in the DC summers where they are so, as a DC resident, it is so unpredictable.
Yep. Is it humid down there too?
Oh God, yes. Oh my God.
Oh,
that's why I say like it's unbelievably humid.
Yeah, that's
unbelievably humid, and it's like it'll just like just rain and lightning will simultaneously strike at one point. It's going to be interesting, but they seem prepared. I think Dana's prepared for it. I trust him, so we'll see what happens. But
I do too, Uncle Dana.
Yeah, that'll do it for the stream. Good talk with UFC 326 and looking ahead. Next week's card is I believe it's an Apex card. Correct?
Yes, it is.
Let's
Back
see.
to Apex. Oh no, it's not. It's in 2 weeks, and it's an Apex card. I'm stupid.
Josh Emmett versus Kevin Vallejo. So we'll be back next week talking about that. That's a Saturday, March 14th card. But until then, we will see you guys next time. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Hit all the socials down below.
Like it up.
Like it up. We'll see you guys. Take care.